this is Sonia from My Happy Space. Welcome back at my channel. Just hopping on to help you set up for this week's memory verse. As I always say, I cut my memory verses out in the beginning of the month and I put it here at the back of my box, ready for the next week. And I'm just looking for week 2 memory verse. So week 2 is John 11:25-26. This is, I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live, and everyone who lives and believes in me shall never die. Beautiful verse. I think it will be easier to remember than we think. It's just always breaking down the verse and zoning into it and see what words is repetitive and things like that. So this is this week's memory verse. So what we do is we take last week's memory verse, which was John 15, and we move it onto even. Let's just pop that onto the daily. So this is the memory verse you are going to memorize this week. Zone in on that. On the even days, you're going to do last week's memory verse. And then you move the last week's memory verse of the even one into odd. So in other words, that is when you memorize on the odd days, the 3rd or the 5th. And then you move last week's odd verse. You can choose any verse in your weekly section which you are familiarized with and you know well. You can move it into the monthly section. But for uniformity, we're going to do Tuesday because last week we had done Monday. So I'm going to move it in there. And then my last Monday verse, whatever you have underneath Monday, doesn't have to be the same than me. We move into the monthly section. And I think we are already here almost at the 15th. We are filling up the monthly section slowly but surely. 16th, yeah, we're going to put it behind 16. So if it's the 16th of the month, you are going to memorize that verse. Here we don't have anything yet. So when you come to that part of the month, which we are now almost in, you're not going to have anything to memorize. You're just going to have a daily verse. If you started this week with us, if you started last week, you can have a daily verse and a even verse to memorize on the even days. If you started 3 weeks ago, you're going to have a daily verse, an even verse, and an odd verse to memorize during the odd days. And then if you have been with us for a while, you're going to have maybe 4 verses. 1 verse to zone in and 3 verses to just to repeat and go over it. So I'm ready for this week. I've done my memorizing of last week's verse. When I have an off week, I do my review. I've done a mind map, fantastic mind map. If you haven't watched the video yet, I really recommend you to go and do it. Go and watch my latest video of the mind maps or the meditation sheet. And then I've done a video about how I set up this page of 3 main points I have. And then tomorrow I'm going to start with my next memory verse. So yeah, good luck and happy practicing, and may it be a blessing. Such an important verse talking about Jesus being the resurrection of life. So I'll speak to you, God willing, on Wednesday with our meditation sheet. Have a great Sunday. Bye-bye.